It is a lovely afternoon to you, our dear beloved listeners. Welcome on Memwezi kwa wireless. Yalisedi anymore. Today we are talking about something very close to our hearts in Western Province, our culture, our ceremonies, and our world life. So, Mama Studios, Yalisedi, we have guests from Panthera Wildcat Conservation, Zambia, and Falls Life, this Falls Life program, and they have been donating heritage falls for our traditional ceremonies like Kuomboka and the Kufuluwena, instead of using real animal skin. Nasepa kumina bisiba yang kumkiti wa Kuomboka mkiti wa Kufuluwena niso mwalanga kuliwa fuluwi kunani li patelo ilizona zeba tinanga falimu ya liapa wakapalibiana zeba tina kono kacheku vikamota ka litabazani kumkono ko twisisa kuli litabazani zinzi chwanekana kili munano abeyi real animals ki ma animal skins kapa kili tabazeswa nasna animals ngolwa ikutwa tabazeo Mama Studios hanze nikokana chwalo vikamota ni Induna Luyanga ili Lushandu Maswabi, who is the Falls for Life coordinator, and Hamochoro Nibo Maswabi Mwambu, who is the Falls for Life community engagement officer. Lumemwezi kwa Studios yeseshanga.
Shangwe mwaka, shangwe, lwaitumela kwa sitela sabrosi kafela kuteleza.
Shangwe vitumezi mime lwaitumela kwa sitela sabrosi kuteleza kafela. Kozo. Mwenje anze lukala duso yalo na chwana. Mwenje lukala yenimina wo Imasiku. Can you tell us about Panthera Wildcat Conservation Zambia? Can you kama ni zomo izanga Panthera Wildcat Conservation Zambia?
Shangwe litumeza hulu. Ele katengo ka Panthera Wildcat Conservation katengo akabona za kubabalera li follow za manala za mwana hei. Desona inge wongwe, sipa, mangau, nilita uchwalo. Ani weyata wongwe, nitausakuli kile upati maskua. Sipa, kisevo, ngwe, ki yona na chumbo ti lepa maskua then ngau, ki chita then tau, ki lion maskua. So katengo ka babalera li follow ze puntilefa. Ni katengo ka kafumania muwa ulozi. Ni Zambia pia mwizi makafiwe national park mwali. Shangwe.
Outer Gwina, Induna Luyanga, what is the Falls for Life program and why was it started? Zina itself the katengo rolika kalisiwe.
Ishangwe mwaka. In the first place, Panthera Wildcat Conservation Organization. Ne kalile ka 2019 kwa mzukta. Reason kikuli where the ceremonies like Kuomboka and Kufuluwena are centered in Barosland is there are around 3 different parks. The first park to the east is the Kafue National Park. The other one to the south is the Somangwezi National Park. The other one to the northwest is the Liwa National Park. These parks supplied, or the inhabitants close to this park supplied skins, labeled skins, to the paddlers, to the Barosero establishment, the Kuta. Having supplied for too long, these animals depleted. The head count that was done in Kafue, the head count that was done in Somangwezi, the head count that was done in the National Park, showed that we had very few laborers in existence. Kama kwa ucharo, sikutewa ni mtata wakuli, what was in the mind of Panthera in conjunction with the traditional authority was, how are we going to determine the careful ceremonies of Kufuhera and Kuomboka in an event that will have no leopards, in an event that all the real animal skins are swept out. That was the concern. So in that vein, Panthera came out with a suggestion of donation in a partnership with the Barros Royal Establishment.
Okay.
When we talk of Barros Royal Establishment, there are consultations which takes place. Firstly, the issue has to be introduced to the Kuta. Then the Kuta will take the matter to His Majesty for ratification. So it is legally approved such that paddlers within the dotted areas of Barosland can use the heritage phrase in the vessels when Omboka takes place and when Fuhera takes place. Kona mwone kutezi chwalo nelikuikalelwa kapa nelikuona kuni ni foroforo za luna zeizi mwakafuwe zeizi masio mwezi zeizi mwaliwa lifirire hapi neweleza ngakuli halo hizi mwamikoleo na mwana si hulu kwa lito za luna mani leku yanga mishukwe ya lukushe meisa bona hali hande matalo ene bafumana kibaba mfera mwendi mkolo eno kona kubani bali shumi fera kapapa 5 kapapa 20 mkolo ka fera nile kubanga tulapi neosa bona hali hande chole katemo kapanda zikabona muli kati foroforo ze hayi bakali tuhere kuliliate kana ko yelika hata sizo seso na nisona hasina kuyema kuli foroforo yate sizo nisona kakufuha mikolo ya bulena kana bakombo enda kakufuha kubona hale kuli bafuhi bapatezi hande aho kona no yutomo wa Panthera kakubona cyane leo neli kubera sizo pili kwa pili sabube nilikuseza zo foroforo zeo kuna ururi bwana.
So abo mbole ni chwale ka nini kula la shutano alipate Lozi the real animal skin and these heritage falls. What is the difference? Someone can choose to say niwatameka ya origin. Maybe from an educated mind point of view, I want to preserve the animals. I can also buy these adults. So what is the difference? How could you tell that, okay, this one is original and this one is not original?
Yes, in the first place, they are imitations. Mm-hmm. The artificial ones imitate the natural ones. Mm-hmm. If you just see the artificial, the heritage skin, you wouldn't know that is this real or it's not real, just by looking. It's only by touching you know, okay, this is artificial, this is natural. The cardinal point is it's very easy to keep an imitated skin like the artificial one. You have a safe keeping, you handle it nicely. Even if it is soaked, it's very easy, it cannot go bad. Then the challenges which we had on natural skins, real skins, number one, it required preservations. Number two, it required safe keeping. You have to handle it with care, and they will not stay more than 2, 3, 4 years unless you really have to handle them properly with instructions, because termites or ants or whatever could just destroy them. When they are subjected to severe heat, they are destroyed. When they are subjected to a lot of moisture, they are destroyed. They even lose color, they even smell, they that scent. They are very easy at least to split. Yes. But the natural one, they are very strong. You can still wash them. You can wrap them nicely. They can even be with you for more than 10 years. So that's the difference. Difference here where this was equal. The particular is a Zalman for. Niana Linga going for Kulibavania. Nilikonakubaina kweza kuli fokumui mwalibea mamusi fokumu mubata zesuwile hande mabea futeni powder fokumu bea ze kikuli babaya fokumu zakona kusumpwa kanako chwezeza kupanga zonali mwanengeze pambile fali kaze za fera kuli butwa haboko ni kulisumpuza kupazo afali kolobele aliko na hali hata hende zimasi amani makona kulitapisa zakona kuoma kabuno hata halina hulu kukiti amulitinile kona shuta na fera tinde.
Reject me now, Mwambu, Imasiku Mwambu. We just from that one. Why is it important to replace real animal skin with artificial ones?
So it's very important to replace the real animal skins with the heritage face. One of the reasons that I would attribute it to is first one. These authentic skins or real skins, one, they were not legal from a legal point of view. So if one person was to be found with the real or authentic wildcat skin, one, they can be arrested. Then when you compare this to the heritage face are legal to use.
Okay.
If you own the heritage face, no one is going to arrest you. You can move with the heritage face anywhere you want to go. Then secondly, just to amplify what my person Maswabi said, the second point that I would bring out is when you use heritage face, you tend to conserve the wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as you may be aware that on the royal badge there are about 150 paddlers that go on the royal badge, and if one person, if all the people is there to wear these wildcat skins, you'll find that one person maybe can wear 5 or maybe even 4 wildcats. Of which, if you have to multiply that by 150, that will give you like 600 animals. 600. Mm-hmm. But with these heritage face, there is no animal that you are killing. That means we are conserving the wildcats and we're also conserving culture, because this culture will be there for many years to come.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Induna Luyanga. Let's talk about many people grow up seeing chiefs and in real leopard skin, especially these other chiefs from other provinces. How do you then explain to elderly people why heritage falls now better than that option?
The issue is how
do we explain, because kubanga ndibale wabula Induna Luyanga kachekulu muwoni mwa artificial siyanzisipambile kibakuwa sizo sawa na siya kai lukwa yazikuli alubona Induna Luyanga kusonga uti na real animal skin alubona mulena kusonga uti na real animal skin kuna kuli. How then do we explain to these our elderly parents to say, okay, we the world is changing, we want to preserve this?
Sure. The world is changing because there is massive depletion. We follow into extinction. I don't want to have. Na nilata usizo hape isiba onaze dakula tahu kulibube ni follow the trial. Kono hamkata ile 100 kulibema paki ona basoma. Iforoze ifele. Hamuka yakafu iforoze ifele. Hamuka kutakwa yo amani kona hakusana amani kujikoji kwa tukoni kwa ngwe kwa fumana kalika mukatutube. Fetaba yene ruziyeza. Amutali mene mikoro ya rumena kulenga munge video yeye ya koma 1980 koma 1990 koma 2000 ndimene tofita 2019 whatever video yani one mutali mene mishukwe yebatinire bafuhi kirukushe libaka kikuli litawo sina hakulo zikuli nese kutemo labo onafa wakuli litawo lisele likiba wildlife litawo lifelile kona hade lwitulisa kushe lingwe onamanyawo niona afelile kona hade muwana kuli mwendi nimukona kuwana fela bashumi kapate mamukolo mani baba kona kubandika kama kazi bapata kaka mumamula Kulineke lokakula kunagere tidasizo kono mukolo nosakwana ndikafuna kuli kuzwa mandongo kwani kofita wayango kafuna bafuli bakwanene akuna nerubonanga mani kumungambira ati niwewe mukata wa walingao nimuhata baloyo wa fast na kwe kufumana njole itataho kiku nerubona likazepe ni follow ze lifelie aliyo kona nisa kwana kono sizo siluka ya kuli hapi asila kiri kuli follow ze lifelie ni unaweyembe lulite lwachi nero ni kuwana kuli kani sisi kona kukabisa mukolo kintomani kintu eba takuswana ni follow kuswana inge nari shushu nale kwaka ane mashushu nesi ya masira amafuvelu masira akonda tabi sa shushu neri nto ene zafira ku ni musunya kuna ni baba ni musunya koromba za zia mashushu se utina ibu ya fana masindoro ko kumisa sina la cotton kapa kula ni masira bayanga uya kwa market kapa kutera wali ngunda nikuba elastic mato pito kelikwa ama mumani kuya mwa shoprite kuyonga kwanda wale kwa cotton bakinita babe ya nto jishu bakukinita bamuze ama muna pesa ima ballet baeza amukali boda kuli ndo yoyo yazo api nekire misisi ya luna kapaliziwa zaluna nelikalile kama silani ya kaliko mali kuna ni masira mama koto nyene mbone kutahanga tubupitwa kupikale kale kweli bapazula ngao kuela mulamba kapasiziba kono masira sata sekubona yakuse balokaliziba nimsisi yenine fate mali zababe ani mali boni fate zene zishiyika zero kono bakaiza kweli zofa masira azo kwa makuwa masira la salo kwe musisi kapasa kwe siziba kapasa kwe shushu nijua na kwa wala sikuwa muboni musisi wa silozi muboni sisi wa silozi wasa sikuwa kwe sisi wa sikuwa sikuwa kikuli munga nto yale yeruki wa nto yeo kuli yiruki ukasizo samina musikima yiruki kasizo sabona peto haina kuzibala kwa mina kono hamu yiruki kasizo samina yazibala kuhiwa neke mkata wale wale ndakuwa waunga rufumana mshitu wangu ikapo watao hamuka ya kosa sana kwa Amerika baba uesu ile baba bata kuiwe maloji awona kuzibala kwa silosi kondo koneke litao malubisha tabayo ntwele kwitinge mtoyo yemwe ngamina mwe bapanya nitwe bikisana kona tabezwa imitations. You do an imitation for what suits your tradition and what suits your culture, for it to have continued and to prevail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to you, more Imasiku. Let's talk about community, craft, and cost of these artificial falls. Who makes these artificial falls? Are there Zambian artisans involved? Because we're talking about these can also be a source of employment to our Zambian young people. Who makes them?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. So the batch that we currently have here, which was donated to the PRA, that was coming from South Africa.
Okay.
But as an organization, we did come up with an idea to say we need to empower the communities where we are coming from. That's the more reason to why we have 3 groups from here, Western Province, where we managed to identify tailors, ladies whose husbands, maybe fathers, were involved in poaching.
Okay.
So we identified those ladies, we empowered them with the tailoring skills. So far we have about, we have 6 women in Kalabo, 10 women in Mwandi, and 13 women in Molanga. So that makes about 28 women that were empowered. So the aim of empowering these women was for these ladies to be making these heritage fairs here in Western Province.
Okay.
Yes.
Rutakwina or Induna Luyanga. Since the donation, have you seen a drop in demand for real wildcat skin?
Yes. There's a head that, because we carry out surveys, and our surveys produce results that the traffic which we had for the past 5 years has reduced. Reason being, the center of demand here does not need to go to the center of supply, which is around the parks like Kaoma, like Sigoma, like Kalabo, and so on. Reason because also the law enforcement officers have intensified patrols. All the traffic which was involved into shipping out the heritage fairs has been kept. Number one. Number two, also apprehensions have been made, taking these people to court to answer as to why they are in possession of the real skins. So that also has contributed to the drop. The final one is now the supply of these donations. They look to be very neat, very beautiful, easy to handle. They cover the badges. So most of the paddlers, those whom which we had interacted with our survey, they have recommended that they would prefer the artificial skins, the heritage furs, to the natural one, because number one, they don't encounter with law enforcers. Number two, they can use them at will, but with the authorization of the BRE at their ceremonial events. Yeah.
Batezo mutelize kwa wireless yateli nchi kona ndako yani enozo zo kukundora mkuu wa wireless yamina mutelize kwa program ya ba Pathera Wildcat Conservation na Zambia ilimo Rikamota ka protecting wildcat while keeping our culture alive. We studios ni kama tengo Induna Luyanga, Induna bo Maswabi, Lushandu, Maswabi, Induna bo Falls for Life, Stairs, Amutualo Nibo, Imasiku, Induna bo was to release Tulos community engagement officer. Mi batizona nakeza mwa ngambolo yarona mi kashwaro batizona lutale kulipokufa mtoto inakonoa sama wa program ye lutaba mwa kusoyemu lutaba lubite kono chona kata koni nakeza mwa ngambolo yarona. So coming to you wo Imasiku, and are there any policies made by the BRE or the government that are helping the organization to thrive in the switch of artificial to real, from real to artificial?
From the government point of view, I would say there are policies that are there. Policies have always been there. Through the Department of National Parks and Wildlife, there have been policies that have been put in place to protect these wildcats. And then from the BRE perspective, it was just a decree, or rather a declaration that was made by the king himself to say these heritage fairs have to be adopted in order for us to sell these wildcats. These wildcats.
Which makes sense. Where do you want to go with
Sure, but ni an assembly ya kuta and ratification ya mshema wa Kenya kuli mwitu sise likazi bakesa sizo salona ni mikiti yaona minto ite mfati kipa balero yetu nao ni kuli libulukwe hande hape liske za itusiswa mani mwabatera kapa bakuvuma kuchwa kapa mukiti wa hawa sinawenga kapa ukulekezwa nacho bati vitu sio nacho mwe tusisanga lipatelo zani za mangaru kulikonje amu kwa kuli ke mama ke rafu nacho mwabizezo kwa namuso kulibyota tsana manyamina kwa nje uya makatanga kwa kize kolokana koye batu abasikaifu manakare nisaizi pomwe nini haba kina wamikolo moko na balifiwa haba zumatini bamwewa kona chwale hakuna ni puzo eliti ndikuli kuna nina koyeo kuli for how long will the donation be in place? Because we will not be receiving donations from time to time. There must be a time now when commercialization takes center stage. With individuals who can afford, those who have the will to paddle in the barges can purchase them. Then there will be centers where these outlets will be dotted. Definitely Mwambu will be one of the centers. Kalabo, another center. Nalolo, another center, by way of where these ceremonies are taking place. But at the same time, we earmark the center of the gateway into Zambia, which is Livingstone. Because Livingstone being a tourist capital, a lot of cultural activities take center stage. And we have a considerable number of Lozis who are around Livingstone, whereby if an outlet is in Livingstone, it will showcase the traditional and cultural norms of the Lozi within that context, whereby tourists or tourism, cultural tourism, will thrive. They will identify the potential of the Lozi culture within Livingstone, and a lot of research and other literature for that will be around displayed in Livingstone. So we will have 4 outlets, one in Livingstone for the sake of the convenience of tourists as a center in Southern Africa. Then we come to Mwambu where the big ceremonies take place. We now spread out to Naroro and Eliwonda. So when that time comes, the public will be notified as to where they should access these heritage fairs.
Okay, let's talk about the organization 5-year goals. Do you have goals? Do you have? I know all Induna Luyanga has mentioned issues to do. To say it's not always that you will be donating. You won't be donating forever and ever and ever. We bring it down home here in Western Province, Barasland. What is your goal as an organization?
So our goal as an organization is to see to it that these wildcats are being preserved. That's why there is this program, Face for Life, which is a demand reduction program. Yes. So from where we started, it started as a donation, but with time, as Mr. Maswabi, the Induna has alluded, it will not always be a donation. There will be a time when there will be no funds to make this heritage fairs. So 2, 3, 4 years from now, with the authority from the BRE and also the Kuta, you will find these heritage fairs in the area that Mr. Maswabi has mentioned. Yes. So our goal is to reduce demand on these wildcats. Yes.
Anzelo sutela kama ngo ya program ya una manzobe na mfelezo wo imasiku kyake
Shangwe manzoya kama mfelezo kikuli aluyene lubuke andesizo saluna kakuli alosa sibuke andesizo saluna bana bauna batapa panda abanakuba nikaru kapa abanaba no opportunity yonaliye. So offer to send my resources yalona kwa pata my resources anakwate. So kikaho luna nakuba bana basilozi we tusise hande kaluloza luna zeruna nikuni bana baona bata kwa pata bakone kuba nikolo ya kwitusisa hande likazaluna ze shana
Shangu, Mazuraka Mafez number 1. We are now in the global village, but within the global, we are only a uniformity pattern for everybody. But there is what is called identity. Each ethnic grouping should have its own identity. Otherwise, we will not be recognized in one way or the other. The most recognition for the Lozi is their culture, which should be guarded jealously as non-computable event. So with that regard, the imitations which Patera has come up with is to uphold the culture such that, number one, it is not imitated. It should not have a copycat. We need to have patented arrangements on how the introduced heritage fairs, its designs or their designs should be patented so that copyright of the same is prohibited without the consent of the cultural owners, the asset owners. So that will uphold our identity, and that is the potential for our culture, which will go for centuries and centuries. And that is an initiative which has come because we are viewing the depletion of these wild species, the leopard in particular. It's not that the depletion is just affected by poaching. Sometimes harsh conditions of climate has affected it. You know, we have a lot of harsh dry spells. Animals have no canopy to relax in the forest, so they are affected. The surveyor codes, animals are affected. But the culture which is projected into that arrangement should at least be ready to adapt and adopt whatever changes while they maintain their original cultural norms. Chikanto icho alikuli. Sisi Lozi sachwalo. Kiko wana kuchwe wasinyasi zobati. Sinamu wana kuchizo sauna. Neke mikola yauna. Hane ipangiwa. Nekusaili mapo. Mikola yauna hane ipangiwa. Nesa pentiwi ibati. Neleku itiranga. Kana kwe semi wana kuliwa nisa ipentiwa. Semu wana kulimatangani wana sekuina nima sila amasweo. Semu wana likaileza hafja. Kono upangeo walona. Nipangiwe kasizo Sasilos. Nekone patiloze kikuli liezi wakasizo sasilos. Mwini lukade na kubea lipatelo. Niko kutinerwa lipatelo. Akiza kuitama mama sito. Kapa kuitama kwa limokola. Akiwa hizo silos jualo. Siloza kuitama mateka. Kona munga mshukuwa tau. Fatoho. Fahalimu alishushu. Chua mwana kama kwinezi lipatelo. Chua mkoli fumana kwinezi mamula. Kapa kwa lifumana kusikilizi kwa tu nini. Kapa kwa litako. Sio haka tizo za sio. Chwe amka wana Lozi yati nili patilo za kuipandea. Ni wale wa South Africa. Kapa wahabo na wale mambo. Mutiniro walikaze washutana. Onao kona olo harula. Chwe rula telefa fasizo sa salona. Kona manzui aka amafezo ao.
Batezona itire kwa maungulo ya tukso yaona ilimo nurikambota niwo Induna Luyanga Lushandu Maswabi ilibona coordinator mwa organization mwa hamo chao niwo Imasiku ilibona wo community engagement officer mwa Pantera Falls organization. Ilimo batezona kuna Vincent Meko inayofitiza tuksoye kuzwa kwa wale siyateri the culture is our pride, conservation is our future. Help us to spread this information. Share this program with your headmen, your Indunas and your church grouping so that we preserve our culture and of course our animals in the parks. From me, Vincent Meko, I'd like to say stay tuned and of course continue listening to Complete Radio.
Grateful for the youth intelligent heritage break.
Nani kaya kumenya sobo ya. Nilwa bole nani.